I've got some really cool stuff to show you guys. Sky is absolutely crystal clear, not a cloud. Let me just turn these lights on so we can see what we're doing. Not a cloud up there. It looks sensational. There's a couple of things that I want to do. One is I want to test this Astro Portrait mode on the S25 Ultra, because I think it has a lot of potential here. And there is something else that I'll show you guys that I got sent something from my other channel, and as soon as I tested it last night, I was like, oh no, you guys need to see this too. It is going to give us, what's it going to give us? Probably the best lightsaber photo I can do. I'm going to turn you around. You're going to see a little bit of light there, not a great deal. Have a look at that. This is the brightest torch I've ever seen. It is nuts. And if we think about having an astro photo with a silhouette of someone holding that sucker into the sky, oh my God. Well, the Milky Way, or the galactic core as we know it, is rising up just over here. The setup I'm using, this is a Ulanzi MagSafe phone holder. They're in and out of stock all the time, so if the link works, it works. And the newer LTO7, it's a pretty good combo, this one. I meant to bring out that f-stopper one, but I left it at home. All right, what we're going to do here is I'll run you through all the sort of setups that I would normally do. We don't want that. That was me attempting to get some video for you guys out here earlier. We're going to go to more, and I'm just going to take a night photo. Turn that around. Why are you looking at me, man? Just going to compose this up so that the foreground's about there, because what we're going to do after, hopefully I won't need to move it again, but what I'm going to do after is stand out about there with that friggin' lightsaber torch. Now I'm just going to take a night photo, 8 seconds it should take, yeah. And we'll see what it's going to do. I've got lots of lights going on here, lights on the car, so the lights in the, it's going to be banding and stuff through it, I would say. There we go, and there is. And I'm looking, isn't it interesting how it does that? So there's the galactic core, you can see it up kind of on an angle up through this here. All right, we're going to turn these lights off, and we'll take another photo. Now to do the portrait mode with the Astro, we're going to Expert RAW. And I was using NDs earlier, so that's why that's up the top there. And we're going down the bottom there, you've got Astro there. We don't want that. We want the next one across. It's the Astro Portrait one there, the Astro with the photo of the person. We're just going to go short for now. Now, I'll just hit record on this so you can actually hear me. I'm not going to turn any lights on. I want you to see what this thing's going to do all by itself. I've got a 5-second timer on. Here we go. So I can get out here. I'm about 4 meters away from it. And I was going to stand here reasonably still. It'll probably blur my face a little bit because I'm talking while I was taking the photo. But that was about 5 meters away. Photo is done, and oh my God, there's Aurora happening right now. Just down there. How good is that? All right, let's have a quick look at the photo. Face is a little bit blurry because I was talking as that Aurora, have a look. That's cracking. I want to try this other photo, and then we'll try and do something with that Aurora. I'm not sure if we'll get it with, we'll get the Aurora, but I'm not sure we'll get it with the Milky Way, the galactic core sitting up there. So I'm about 5 meters away in that photo, and I look a little bit dark. So I'm going to stand a little bit closer. I think the problem, because I've tested this a little bit, and I think that the best way you're going to get this to work is to work out the distance. And it's going to depend on what you're wearing and stuff. I'm wearing all dark colours. That's just the nature of astrophotography. But look, I'm going to go out there and try another one. I'll go maybe 4 meters away so there's more light hitting me, and we'll see how we go. And then we're going to see if we get the Aurora, and then we'll do that lightsaber torch, because holy moly, right, that thing is just nuts. Look at that. You can even see it in that light. Holy crap, that's bright. Anyway, let's take another one of these. Just come to the back of the car on the other side of the car from where the photo's being taken, so the light here won't interrupt too much. When you're doing this sort of thing, this Astro Portrait mode, how it works is it's going to do the regular expert raw, as in take many photos. So this is taking about 4 minute long photo. This is right now 3 or 4 minutes. The first maybe 5 seconds of the photo, so you put a timer on there, let it count down, and the first maybe 5 seconds the torch on the camera bursts open and paints you in light. You're exposed to light, and everything that happens in that 5 seconds, any movement you do and stuff, is going to show up in the photo. So you need to be fairly still doing that. If you're not used to doing that sort of thing, I would suggest having something like a 3-point of contact, like a fence post or a lamp post or something. So you've got 2 feet on the ground, one arm holding onto something else, so you're not going to move. But really, it's 5 seconds, just don't move. So once this is done, I didn't know there was an Aurora tonight. I'm bloody stoked that's happening, and having it with this torch, I think it's going to be a cracker. Anyway, let's go and check on this camera. All right, it's done. Man, that Aurora is banging. All right, that actually looks heaps better. Look at that, heaps better. The subject, as in me, I'm not moving. What I did was I actually looked here at the screen on this camera here and didn't move. I just kept my eye on that, and that helped obviously, because it's a fairly sharp photo. All right, that Aurora, holy moly. Yeah, move around, just might actually shoot it horizontally instead of vertically, because there's going to be a lot more color out there. And if I don't move, or maybe I'll just move it to the right a little bit so the galactic core goes to the left of the frame, and then we'll see how that actually turns out. I'm not going to do Astro mode here. I'm going to just shoot for 20 seconds with a high ISO, make sure the composition's right, and then we'll try something else. I'll just turn all this off again. I've tried a few photos here, heading more south. The Aurora is definitely popping. It does look good, but honestly, when you see one Aurora photo and then more Aurora photos, they all tend to look the same. So I like to try and do something a little bit different, and putting myself out there with that bright torch is going to be okay, but I really do think that the galactic core rising up with the Aurora there with the torch, I think that's where it's at. So I'm going to bring the camera back to vertical, spin it back around here, make sure my composition's right, and then we're going to do an Astro Portrait with the torch, and hopefully it works. Okay, it's going to go back out of that Pro mode, go to more, Expert Raw, Astro Portrait Short. I'm going to get this torch ready. There we go, it's counting down now. I'm going to look up at the torch. And I've held the torch on for just a second or two. We'll see if it works. It's not showing up in the photo just yet. It may not work this way. We may have to do it with regular 30-second photo. So we'll wait for this to finish and we'll see what the processing on the camera does, and we'll try again in a minute. It's processing now. Don't think it worked. No, it didn't work. It didn't work the way I was hoping. Oh man, that galactic core looks awesome. It didn't work the way that I was hoping it would work. So the way we're going to get around this, and this is what astrophotography, sort of landscape astro, whatever you want to call it, nightscapes, this is how this kind of works. You've got to try things, test things. Doesn't work, try it again, test again. Doesn't work, try different things. So this one here didn't work that way. So we will get out of this, and I'm going to just take a 30-second photo. We're probably going to get some star trails in it. That's okay. I really want that Aurora, and I really want that light beam of torch, and I really want that galactic core. What I do want to have is a little bit of a silhouette of my silhouette holding the torch. So I'm also thinking I'm going to go a little bit lower. What I'll change, don't think I need to change anything here besides the 20 seconds. and maybe the ISO. We'll bring that down to 1600. I also want to put a timer on this because I've got to get out there for this photo. So I'll just drop the center column on this to there. Composition's going to be roughly the same, just shooting up a little bit. And that's it. I'm going to turn this off. We won't have to wait as long this way. Turn that off and hit the shutter button. It's taking a photo now. There goes that beam of light. I'll turn it off, then I'll come back around. This is why, this is why I was saying before about wearing dark colors. This is why I wear dark colors. So you can move around in the frame, and generally, while the frame's live, if you're all covered up in dark colors, it generally won't pick you up. How's this looking? 1 second to go, it's done. Okay, that didn't work as well, not nearly as well as I hoped it would. We are going to get this. I am absolutely confident we're going to get this. So the way this is working out is I can't move from the frame. I'm going to have to stay in the frame, but it won't matter if I move a little bit. But I do think I'm going to need to leave that light on for longer. But I don't want it on my face because my face will just get overexposed then. So I think if I face away from the camera and do it, it'll probably work. All right, I'll turn all this off again. I've had this happen a few times, even with DSLRs, where I thought I could get away with moving in the frame, but the reason it's happened that you can see through me is I think it might be Leachville. There's a town that I'm in the exact direction that I'm facing. There's a bit of light there. If it was all totally dark on the horizon, we really wouldn't have an issue. So we've got a reasonable silhouette. You can see the light going up a little bit. You can see a little bit of the Aurora on the right-hand side there. Looking at this, I think I need to keep the torch lit there for longer. So we'll try that. You've just got to keep on trying. Looks like I moved out of the frame just a little bit too early then. Oh, we're getting it though. Oh, we're getting closer and closer. Hopefully that's it. Wonder how long you guys were sitting there watching me. There, we got it. We got it. Yeah. That was the photo that I've been looking for. Have a crack at that. Look at that light and the silhouette. That's exactly what I was trying to achieve, and it really shows that if it's not working quite the way you want it to work, adjust things. And we played with lots of different settings then. It was a little bit too bright, a little bit too long. And I think the torch, holding that torch lit up at that time, so the way that I think that this does it, even in manual mode, I don't think it does it a 30-second photo. I'd have to check the metadata on that. Can I check the metadata on that on the phone? I think I can on this bad boy. Where are we looking? It says 20 seconds, but I'm not sure if it does like what the iPhone does, as in exposes multiple images and brings them together. But regardless, that has worked. Changing the ISO up and down, changing the shutter speed forwards and back, but I think having that light, this torch, lit up at that time in the middle of the whole photo, I think is where it's at. Hey, if you guys are into this sort of photography, we've got a ripper Facebook group, Shane Mostyn's Bloody Legends Mobile Photography, great group, lots of astro, lots of micro, all sorts of photos. Head over there and have a look. And if you haven't subscribed here on the channel, do so. We're closing on 100K and I'd love for you to be all part of it. So we started with that. The Aurora threw a spanner in the works. We've tried some photos of the Aurora. I'll probably do some more before I head off. Not on video, I'll just show you what they look like at the end here. And brought it back around, brought the galactic core in, incorporated the torch, incorporated the silhouette, and I think it's a ripper photo. Very good. All right, guys, that's it for today. I'll see you next time.